The night had begun like countless others. The house buzzed with gentle conversation, the soft clatter of glasses, and music drifting quietly through the background. I had expected nothing more than a relaxed evening with friends, easy laughter, effortless talk, maybe a bit of harmless teasing. But something in the air felt off. There was a faint charge, subtle yet unmistakable, a tension I couldn't identify at first. It wasn't loud or dramatic, just a steady whisper in my gut that something was building. And deep down, I knew she was at the center of it. I noticed it the moment she moved through the room. Her laughter, usually meant for me, was now aimed elsewhere. Her eyes held a sparkle, but it wasn't the one I knew. They flickered with purpose, calculated and flirtatious, impossible to overlook. I tried distracting myself with casual conversations, but my focus kept slipping back to her. Every giggle, every gentle touch on another man's arm, every tilt of her head felt like a tiny, intentional jab, reminding me that something between us had shifted. By the time I fully grasped what was happening, she was already leaning close to him, whispering in a way that carried familiarity and interest. The subtle lean of her body, the softness of her tone, the way she laughed at things that weren't remotely amusing, it was bold, revealing, and utterly unacceptable. And yet, even as anger flared through me, I didn't react. I didn't shout. I didn't confront her. I stayed composed and observant, letting her believe she still held the upper hand while I quietly prepared for the moment everything would come to light. The room blurred around me as I stood still, watching every move she made. Her confidence might have fooled anyone else, but to me it was a mask, one I had learned to interpret after years of subtle red flags. She had completely misread my patience, my awareness, and my ability to stay silent while witnessing the betrayal I had long suspected. Each moment dragged, the noise of the room fading as my focus narrowed solely to her, to the line she was inching toward and the perfect timing I needed to reveal the truth. And then she stepped over it. She angled closer to him, whispering something light and intimate, her voice carrying a tone meant only for him. His quiet, approving laugh followed, sending a sharp wave of disbelief through me. She had gone too far, and that was when I rose. Slowly, intentionally, I stood, allowing my presence to become impossible to ignore. The room seemed to pause, aware of the sudden shift, sensing that everything between us had changed in an instant. Her smile faded the moment our eyes locked. The man beside her froze, the flirtation collapsing into awkwardness, the air heavy with tension. She opened her mouth, ready to charm her way out as always, but nothing came out. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't accuse her. I didn't beg. I spoke evenly, coldly, each word hitting with perfect precision. I think you've forgotten where the line is. The reaction was immediate. Her confidence shattered. The laughter died on her tongue as panic replaced the composure she'd been clinging to. People around us started to notice, whispering as they realized something significant had just unfolded. The man who had been enjoying her attention suddenly looked uncomfortable, aware that he'd stepped into something far bigger than casual flirting. She finally understood, too late, that she had underestimated me completely. I stayed calm, letting her unravel. Every attempt she made to steady herself only exposed more of her arrogance and deceit. The room watched in stunned silence as the woman who had been glowing minutes earlier began to crumble, her facade peeling away piece by piece. Each passing second felt stretched, thick with suspense. By the time the evening was winding down, she was pale and trembling, unable to meet my eyes. Her flirtation, her overconfidence, her belief that she could toy with me and others without consequence had collapsed under the weight of one deliberate moment. I had stayed patient, quiet, intentional, and the result was undeniable, public, and irreversible. Friends murmured in shock, some staring openly while others exchanged uneasy glances. The image she had crafted for so long, the charm, the untouchable confidence, was gone. She felt the full cost of her choices, and it showed in every shaky breath, every broken attempt at a smile, every tear threatening to fall. In the quiet that settled afterward, as the party resumed around us, I realized everything had changed. She had believed she could manipulate, deceive, and sway without ever facing consequences. But once she crossed that line, the truth stood in plain sight. I hadn't yelled or acted impulsively. I had simply observed, waited, and chosen the exact moment to let reality speak louder than confrontation ever could. By the time we left, she was defeated and shaken, her confidence shattered. The flirtation she had wielded so carelessly had turned to dust, stripping away her control and exposing every lie behind her charm. The night had become a turning point, a quiet lesson in patience, strategy, and consequence. She had underestimated me, and in doing so, revealed everything I needed to see. I walked out calm, steady, and unaffected, the one truly in control of the situation she thought she commanded.